In Benin, in Fon was the one I had the most experience in trying to pick up little words and phrases. And their expressions are very interesting. Instead of saying things like their version of saying "how are you doing," they would say "afonganjia," which means, in a literal translation, it means "did you wake up well?" To which you would respond "ganji ganji," I woke up well. And literally it just means good good. But that would be I woke up well. They would ask questions like ablok bedea, did you do a little bit today? And if you had done anything, if you had walked down a flight of stairs, you had to say ablok bede, I did something, I did a little bit. Because their qualification of what a little bit was pretty low. It's not the most efficient in terms of maximizing every minute of every day. If you hadn't seen anybody in a long time, be that a week, be that 2 months, actually, I've forgotten the expression in Fon, but the translation into French was, it's been 3 days. And it's been 2 months. Apparently, the appropriate response was, and one more, meaning that you had missed them even more than 3 days. But that one just would always throw us for a loop. We haven't seen you, and I was transferred out 6 months ago, and now I'm back, and you're saying it's been 3 days. Huh. Missionaries would learn simple verbs, simple phrases. I learned how to say, I speak Fong, I know Fong, un se Fong Be, un se Fong Bea. I don't speak Fong. I had to use that one a lot. So there was, and Mina and Ave were somewhat similar, but there were important differences that made it easier to learn for most people. But I didn't get the chance to really delve into that one. Both languages are tonal, I think. I know Fon is tonal, which makes it really hard, and I may or may not have said something that did not make any sense in the things I've been saying. But most people understood on context. I think the word "so" in particular, depending on your tone and just your context of it, could mean yesterday, tomorrow. I think, and then also I think sun, cloud, and sun, like my sun, and I think lightning or cloud. So it was a hard language, and even they would recognize that it was hard, that it was not an ideal language to express oneself in. So a lot of people, especially in Benin, did use a lot of French because it was easier sometimes to express themselves in.
Both countries speak different languages. In Togo, they speak a language called Ave, and in Benin, it's called Fon, something like that. And I remember in Togo, it was first area, right? I was my first area or sector is what we call them. I was there for 6 months, and I was not good at French. I remember the first month that I was there, it was just discerning the native language and French. So for the most part, people would speak native language together, or on the daily basis on the streets. You'd be walking by, and it was pretty uncommon to hear people speaking French. As soon as you'd approach someone, for the most part, everyone knows French, except for the older people who probably never learned French, not a lot of schooling. They only speak Ave. So it was kind of really hard to talk to them, if not impossible. But for the most part, everyone spoke French. So you can pretty, talk to most people. Little kids probably didn't learn French until, I don't know, like 6 or 7. So I thought the weirdest transition was when I was in, Togo, and when I went to Benin, I heard little kids speaking French. Like that was just so weird. I wasn't used to it.
So the local languages, there's actually a lot of tribal languages in both countries, but they are I'd say they're vertically stacked, so to speak. So in the south they speak certain languages, in the middle of the countries they speak certain languages, and in the north they speak other languages. So for the most part, we just ran into one or two languages in the south, and in Benin that was Fon, that we would always run into. Occasionally we ran into people that spoke Goon, which was apparently related but different. They sounded the same to me. And in Togo, we ran into a lot of people that spoke Ave or Mina, which I'm told is just a high form compared to a kind of a slang kind of version.